Never have I ever, in the history of being a financial coach, my 10-year history of being a financial coach, have I ever had to educate my clients on how to completely revamp their financial strategy from the ground up. But that is exactly what is happening right now because our economy is rapidly changing and evolving. And while I do see a lot of headlines talking about the fact that things are changing, what I think is missing is sharing with the everyday person exactly what that means for them and the action that they should be taking in their day to day life and in their financial strategy to adapt to everything that is happening. The good news is that when it comes to me, my focus is always stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. And we're not creating financial strategy that you have to change every 6 months or every year. We're creating the type of broad strategies that only need to be changed like this once in a decade. So this is a once in a decade conversation that I highly recommend that you tap into. Today, I'm going to talk about the 3 financial updates that I want you to make to your financial portfolio. Number 1, stop spending for a very specific reason that we're going to talk about. Number 2 is refresh your asset allocation strategy. And then the final thing is lean into lifestyle income. So we're going to get all into that in detail in a second. But before we do, I want to talk about what I referenced in the previous video where I said that there's a part of me that thinks that the conversation about AI taking over jobs is overblown because I personally don't even let AI write my emails, okay? Before I'm ready to really understand and make predictions about what the future could look like with AI, we really have to see inside of the black box because we don't know if AI is doing what they're telling us is doing.
Stanford's Digital Economy Lab pointed out AI generated code tends to be simpler, more repetitive, and dangerously less structurally diverse. Research shows that while AI can help a junior developer finish a basic task 35% faster, it actually makes the final product less maintainable over the long term. This leads us to the most expensive mistake in tech history.
They went on to share that even though a lot of these companies have invested over $40 billion into AI, two-thirds of them have yet to see a single dollar of return or any type of measurable return, period. What is really going on? And why are these companies pushing AI so hard? Is it really about artificial intelligence or is it about something else? I'm starting to think that it's about something else. And I want you to watch this last video and then we'll talk about it.
AI is crazy because they put it in everything, but it's just actually a bunch of people driving Waymos in the Philippines. It's like Amazon's Just Walk Out thing that they did, but it was just like 1,000 Indians abroad that were like watching you on cameras and charging you. And now all the cars that are driving around California are just people in the Philippines driving it around.
That guy is a little bit dramatic, but I liked the video because it really drove home the point. So when it comes to a Waymo, their cars really do have autonomous driving technology. However, there's somebody in the Philippines who gives it instructions when it gets stuck and tells it what to do. But honestly, even more interesting was the Amazon walkout program, where you're thinking that, there's this AI technology that allows you to grab different things off the shelf and then it's tallying it in the background and charging you. When in reality, there's just people in India watching you shop, tallying up what you left out the store with, and then charging you. And this is why I said that I strongly believe that AI should be used as a maximizer and as an enhancer of human potential instead of using it as something to reduce our workforce and outsource our jobs. I am so excited about all of the different innovations that AI is going to bring, but don't for a second let it undervalue what you bring to the workforce. All right. And so, with that being said, let's talk about the 3 financial upgrades that I want you to make to your financial strategy right now as quickly as you can so that you can have a resilient financial strategy that's able to stand the test of time, even as we're dealing with all of this uncertainty and moving into the great financial reset. Okay. So, number 1, treat your spending like it is a financial lever inside of your financial strategy. because it is. A lot of times we think of saving as a lever, we think of investing as a lever. We think of spending is the thing that we do before we start looking at our financial strategy. And it kind of absolves us of really having to contend with our spending as parts and parcel of our financial strategy. And what happens is then we're a lot less intentional with that money. And sometimes that's okay. But the reason that I'm bringing attention to it is because we are in a high inflation economy and we don't see that changing anytime soon. The way that you deal with with inflation as a consumer that sends a message to the people who can do something about it, because right now when we're looking at inflation, a lot of it is not because of the cost of goods, it's because of corporate greed. And so what you do is you stop spending because it sends a message that you're not going to keep spending just because. Right now, we sent a message to these companies that we're going to spend money regardless, and they have taken note. You want to let them know, no, the spending has to be reasonable and commiserate with the value and the quality that I'm getting. The second reason, and honestly the most important reason, is because when you spend in a high inflation economy, you are practically locking in your losses and giving your money away. The second thing that I want you to do is refresh your asset allocation strategy. I love asset allocation, and this is one of the main things that I love to work with my clients on as they're looking at their investments and educating them on what a proper asset allocation strategy looks like. The first two things that we usually think about is what percentage of my portfolio should be in stocks and what percentage of my portfolio should be in bonds. And it really depends on a lot of different factors like your age and how much risk you want to take. But now I think that we have to open up this asset allocation and also start thinking a lot more about what diversification should look like. So we're opening up to new asset classes like cryptocurrency, and then we're diversifying more into new economies, new emerging economies, new emerging technologies. We want to make sure that we're not putting all of our eggs into the United States basket. While listening at the World Economic Forum, one of the things they talked about was decentralizing the United States as an economic force for the world and spreading out some of that power throughout different regions of the world. And so the way that you diversify is making sure that you are invested in these different economies, whether it is an emerging international economy or an established international economy. We do not have the luxury to just sit still and wait and see what happens. We all know more risk, more reward, less risk, less reward. So when there's a more risk environment, then we have the potential to reap more reward. And the way that we can get some reward while mitigating some of that risk is through diversification. And then number three, lean into lifestyle income. I believe that the age of the traditional influencer is waning because we cannot trust them anymore. They will tell us whatever we want to hear to have us buy something. I will literally be watching somebody with something on and they will be telling me how good it looks. And I'm like, it's pilling, it's stretching, it's ill fitted. Like, why are you trying to convince me that this is a good buy? Like, just get a good product and sell that. And so I think the everyday person who is using the things that they love and telling their friends and their family and their community about it, and then have the opportunity to benefit from that, I think that that is going to grow. But another thing I think that could be really beneficial of this lifestyle income era is us sharing the things from the people that we love, whether it is my aunt's jewelry line or my cousin's baking company or whatever it is, that we can reclaim our cash flow and start to recirculate it amongst the people around us. I want honesty over everything when it comes to reviews. And I think that that's going to be the new influencer, somebody who is honest, somebody who has, an everyday vibe and that the people can trust. So, with that being said, there are things that you can be doing right now to take control of your financial strategy. Number one, treat your spending like it is a financial lever because it is. Number two, refresh your asset allocation strategy. And then finally, lifestyle income. Because if you are not profiting from your lifestyle, I promise you that somebody is. And so, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't, make sure that you watch the previous video when I talk exactly about what those economic shifts are that are happening. And then this video is about how we can simply and easily respond to create a resilient financial plan. And with that being said, you already know what it is. You are not helpless, hopeless, or powerless. In fact, you are powerful beyond measure, and you have everything that you need to take your finances to the next level. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.